Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Mordechai. That was the weakest of all time. Hayoim, Shmoyne Vesrim Yoim, Shehem Arba'a Shevuos, Ba'im Erloim Case. You missed Ma'ariv or something. I don't know what happened, but you said the wrong day. Shalom Aleichem Tzvi. What's your name? Yitzchak? Yair. That's your last name? No. What's your last name? Weiss. Psh, from where? Where do you live? Here? You live here? And you live in Eretz Yisrael? And you do the Daf Yomi? No. You just like Daf Yomi. You like to come here. The Shmak. Very nice. Thanks for coming. Who brought you here? That's your uncle. Psh, very chashuv. Okay. Dear Rebelli, my son Nathaniel, who attended this shir in person this past week and is an MDY recruiter at Mevaser, completed his second Siyum Sanhedrin Makis with MDY. I made a Siyum last Friday night on Makis at our Shabbos table in New York. My son Israel, 12, was at my Siyum and said, I want to start learning the daf with you and Nathaniel. Amud Shabbos, Daf Beis, Shevuos, he joined me in learning the daf. It's a tough Masechta to start out with. Shash is a lot more fun.
I don't know, it's a lot of Agadata.
Yeah, listen, every daf, Baruch Hashem had a little piece of Agadata.
I know what you're doing with.
Nobody give up yet. It's a lot of good stuff. I want to start out learning the daf, okay? I signed him up and Aurelia he has new Gemara, hasn't missed the daf yet. 8 happened so far, many more to go. Thank you for being a wonderful Magir cheer and being a shutuf with all of us. Getting young boys to want to learn Gemara these days is tough. I'm very grateful to you in teaching me now my two sons, both in this picture, learning Nachas. Dan Rosenbaum, West Hempstead, New York. Here's a guy that's, he's a paid medic to be at a basketball game and went overtime here in Israel. And this is not a posed picture. He was actually learning, his friend saw this. In Eretz Yisrael, we have another place that they're getting together in Elad. The reason why I'm saying this is because every other day there's another place that's Baruch Hashem. Once people realize it's something to do, so it becomes like the copycat thing. And we got to get that culture going in America somehow. Wait a minute, something is missing here. My emails are missing. Oy vavoy. No, but if the emails are missing, then everything I did in my charts are missing as well. Let's see. Yeah. My charts are not updated. That's terrible. Okay. But this is updated. MDY booth at .org nonprofit event in New Jersey this Tuesday. The powwow. Nasan Gans will be moderating 3 panels. The famous Nasan Gans. We need volunteers, it says here. Contact Peretz Chaim Levin, and here's his email and his phone number. So there's supposed to be a lot of people there. So they want to introduce the daf to different people. The Masechta is sponsored by anonymous Hatzlacha bruchnius לעילוי נשמת זכריה בן משה נשמת זכריה בן יוסף Parnasa Birevach for Baruch Tzvi Nissim ben Shoshana Leah Gourmet Los Angeles Moshe Aron Miriam Landy for the Hatzlacha of all our children. Weekly sponsors anonymous. Thank you MDY for the highlighted Gemara. Never give up and always keep going forward. Barbara Price and family. לעילוי נשמת שלום ישעיה זכריה ben יבלach יצחק Mordechki פישל. His neshama should have an aliyah. לעילוי נשמת Esther Basar of Mayor Yitzchak, a Holocaust survivor with strong Yirat Shamayim devoted to Torah. Her neshama should have an aliyah in honor of Woody, Chewy, and the Kale twins. It's been a long time. How long? How long? 3.5 years? 3.5 years they've been missing? Woody.
And the Kale twins.
Wow, something's playing around. Somebody's playing around there with my computer. Today's learning Yud Gimel Iyar responsibility Nishmas Shalom Yishai Zechron Lebrach Yitzchak Mordechki Fischel on his 11th yard side. This is Fischel's young son was nifter. His 11th yard side of his family who still misses him very much. In a short life, Shai was an accomplished Marbitz Torah who helped many beginners experience the sweetness of Torah. He would have been especially proud of all the new daffers in the No Makas Now program by officials, mitzvah motivators. Yehi Zichrei Baruch Shalom should have an Aliyah. Yeah, there's official reminded me at Motzei Shabbos last night that it wasn't so long ago. There was a point of time when people had yahrzeit and they couldn't say Kaddish during COVID. There's no minyanim, remember? And we had a minyan, and people from America were asking us. So he called up. He says, it's my son's yahrzeit. You say Kaddish for me. Remember that? Well, you were in that minyan also. You were also. You lived right there, but that's where you got into your yichidus. MDY, I mean, havon of tefillah. Not yichidus. I didn't mean it that way. I meant to concentrate yichud. His boydidus. MDY Kids Monthly, Innovations Chus. Somebody. Okay, so if I already said it, somebody came over to Noam this week and said, teach me how to be a good davener. Because he learned during COVID, he learned how to be a good davener, right? Isn't that when it was? No, we're not going to talk about it. Anavam. MDY Kids Monthly Innovations, פישל, Akiva, Rivki, Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the Month. Refuah Shlema for Yonatan Eitan. He's saying, no, I was always a good davener. That's Yonatan Eitan B'Sheva Bracha for Refuah Shlema, for Schus for Belly and the whole MDY. Staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Okay, Rabbi Isai, here we are. Oh, a lot of guests. We'll say we have a few minutes here. Avi, is it okay if I say hello to the guests? No. Okay, so says the Gemara. What's your name? What's your names?
Israel Bloomberg.
From?
Clifton, New Jersey.
Clifton. Does anybody ask you if you're related to Bloomberg? From the mayor? Really?
Every day.
No. Oh my.
You remember what happened when you asked the guy if he's related to someone?
No. Oh. I don't remember, but I really don't remember. Remind me afterwards. What's your name? Also related. Wow, Shalom Aleichem. And you guys?
Aron Miriam from Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. And who's that next to you? Oh no, that kid's with you. Okay, not with you. Houston, Texas. You do the daf with MDY?
Since Miguel.
No way.
Wow.
We got to do a get over here. Get over here. Come on, a guy like you should come over here. Make some room. Make some room. Houston, Texas. It's Chashuv. What? Yeah. No. Shalom Aleichem.
You may or may not remember, but about a year ago, I had my son, who goes to yeshiva here in Yerushalayim, come here to say thank you for everything that you've done for me.
Of course I remember. Wow, it's beautiful. So what? Of course. Wow, Yeshcaya.
1,200 pages of Gemara, courtesy of you.
Unbelievable. So
I was never able to learn before, and you know what it is for me is the charts and the graphs, and now the
jokes. The jokes also.
The jokes also.
Yeah. Some Nachman, the Weiter. Look, he's already Weiter. No, Weiter. Look at him. No. Let's get him upset. This is the whole part. I love this. This is where it gets good. Look at him. He's starting to shake. He looks at his client. Look at him.
But the cool part is when you watch every day on a screen, and you finally get to come in person and see everything that you've been watching.
No, so I'm a little taller than on screen, and the room is smaller, right? Okay.
The room is a little smaller,
yeah. So how many people in Houston do the daf, do you think?
30, 40? Like that's a
With
nice
MDY?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So when do we get a screen together and
we should do it.
Every day at a certain time?
No, not together at the same time.
No, together at the same time. As we like at 9 o'clock at night, you get together and you do the daf.
We should do it for sure.
Very nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Anybody else? Asher Stefansky in the house. Are Simon? Yeah. Woo. Hello. I don't see. Who's new over there? So they said there's a guy. Who? Raise your hand, whoever you are. You're new. That guy over there with the coffee. Who? What? I can't see. Yeah, he was here yesterday.
Dr. Factor said right there, that's the first.
Okay. I have a shayla for the olam. The Torah says that it's a mitzvah to make a su'uda on Rosh Chodesh. If you buy some nice stuff, you buy some steaks and wine for the su'uda of Rosh Chodesh, does it come out of the money that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you on Rosh Hashanah? The Hitzos of Shabbos don't come out. Yontif doesn't come out. What about Rosh Chodesh? It doesn't come out? Doesn't come out. Says Hillel. Machlokes, you're wrong. No, I don't know. It seems like, according to the Torah, it doesn't come out. It could be those who argue with the Torah if it's taka such a mitzvah. But we're going to see in today's daf that Rosh Chodesh is considered a yontif. So here we are. Rabbi, let me just give you Hagdama. Everything we're going to see today is going to be very, very familiar. Besides the two amazing sugis, we have very, very geschmackes sugis. I'm serious. Very nice stuff on Amud Beis towards the end of this year. And then we have a lot of chazara. A lot of chazara. People are flying. We're talking about these for the last 9 days. These goats. There's the inside goat, the outside goat. If I were to ask you, what does the inner goat of the Beis Hamikdash do? Do me a favor. Could you bring those two mizbeachs, one at a time? There's the inner mizbeach. There's the outer mizbeach. What does the goat that you put on the outer mizbeach do? What does the goat that you put on the inner mizbeach do? What does Rosh Chodesh goat do? What does Yontif goat do? It's a little bit confusing. And the good thing is that we're going to repeat it all. And it's the same style, basically, that we've done in the last 2 days. We're doing again. Shkoyach. Thank you very much. This is the inner mizbeach. This is, we said already, we discussed yesterday that this whole giant thing, it's 1 amma, it's only 2 feet wide by 2 feet wide, is literally the size of this little guy here on the mizbeach. And this is built to scale. So this little square is the size of this. So it's not this mizbeach and this mizbeach are not to scale. This is only 4 feet tall. This is what you put the ketores on. We're talking about sprinkling with blood. There's the inside and the outside. Really, we're talking about even more inside than this. The Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Aron. Okay. So let's do a little chazara. Even though there's new parts to it, it's the same theme as what we learned yesterday and the day before. It's literally easy, but there's nothing new. The new thing is the new sugis and beautiful stuff about ketores and tamid come towards the end of Amud Beis. So it says the Gemara like this. V'chitema, 4 lines down. We're talking about now. Now we're with let me just show you the picture. We're this guy. The sire of Yontif. Says the Gemara, the sire of Yontif, Nikapra de Rosh Chodesh. Why doesn't it take care of what Rosh Chodesh takes care of? Does anybody remember what Rosh Chodesh takes care of? So I'll show you the thing here. This tahar. Shachal is that tamei. You have a sheretz that's dead. Now it's dead. Turns red over here. It's red. That transfers tuma into the carbon shlomim, and then this guy who used to be tar, he's now a tamei man. So Rosh Chodesh comes to be mechaper that he doesn't even know. He, it happened and it happened. Comes to Rosh Chodesh, sire, and takes care of it. Says Gemara, "V'chitayim in the kaper Rosh Chodesh." What?
Not through the plates, though. Yeah, it's a metal plate.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. V'chitayim.
Some of the blood came out.
It could be like the shlomim itself, the shlomim without a plate. Okay, without a plate. V'chitayim in the kaper Rosh Chodesh. There's a lot of kashas on the art. The art is just the saber, so it's a 9. V'chitayim in the kaper Rosh Chodesh. We should think maybe perhaps what this guy, the Rosh Chodesh guy, the Yontif sire, should take care of anything that we have a problem with Rosh Chodesh, which is tahar shachal tamei. A guy that's completely tar who ate tamei carbon, it should take care of it also. Let's say Sukkot happens in the middle of the month, and this guy, he ate tamei. He's a tar guy that ate tamei on the 11th of the month. So Rosh Chodesh was 11 days before. So now comes Yontif. Now he has tahara from this sire. Why not? Hamrinan, Oisa, and we had this yesterday. It's the same yutim. Oisa, Noisa Avain, Veinachen Oisa Avain. Rosh Chodesh takes care of that, and nothing else but Rosh Chodesh will take care of tar shachal tamei. Maybe the regal, this guy, this sire that you do on Yontif should take care of Yom Kippur things. Now, usually when we talk about Yom Kippur, what are we talking about? The inner one or the outer one? This, the one that's sprinkled on this one, or the one that's sprinkled on this one? The inner one. What does the inner one come to be mechaper? There's no yidi at the end. Very good. No yidi at the end. So that is on a category all by itself. There's no argument that that's what it does. And as we're going to see in a second, Remeir takes it out of all the serum. It's on its own category. All the goats. All the goats means Rosh Chodesh, Yontif, Chitzon, on Yom Kippur, Chitzon. They're on their own category. Pnimi, we're not talking about. So when we talk about Yom Kippur, we're talking about the Chitzon. The Yom Kippur. What does Chitzon take care of, Rabbi Yisai? Yediyah when? The Yediyah has at the Yediyah at the end. He has a Yediyah at the end. He didn't have a Yediyah in the beginning. He didn't have awareness in the beginning. That's what's a little confusing. It's like, it's not hard. It's just, there's a Yediyah at the end and a Yediyah in the beginning and there's Yontif. But we're going to do now a Chazara. This is going to make it clear. Maybe Yontif should take care of what Yom Kippur typically takes care of. Amrinon, we already said, Achaz Bashana. On Yom Kippur it says, Achaz Bashana. This Yom Kippur takes care of it once a year. Achaz Bashana, here we go. Achaz Bashana. It takes care of it. Yom Kippur takes care of it. Nobody else will take care of it. Don't try to take care of Yom Kippur stuff with the Yediyah Basayf. That's Yom Kippur takes care of it once a year, nothing else. This type of kapar to take care of somebody that had a yediyah at the end, it only happens once a year. And now we're going to do a chazara. Amay mekapri. So what does Yontif take care of? Rabbi and Shalom, what does it take care of? What's the question? So here is a beautiful chazara. Think about it. When there is an awareness in the beginning and awareness at the end, there's awareness, a sandwich, in the beginning, at the end. What takes care of it? Oile v'yored. Very good. Oile v'yored. I see Mendy's holding in the sugi. I'm holding. Now, when there's a yediyah tchila in the beginning and at the end, don't answer, and you don't answer. Yediyah tchila v'loisoy. There's no awareness at the end. Yom Kippur, which one? Inside. So pnimi. Now, if there's a yediyah and not in the beginning, but there's an awareness at the end, which one takes care of that? This guy. By the way, here's a trick question. This is not fair because we didn't do a lot of chazara on it. What else does the pnimi take care of? Pnimi takes care of yediyah tchila v'lo b'sof. There's no awareness at the end. The guy is telling me he'll never know in the rest of his life. He'll never figure it out. Hashem takes care of it for him. But what else does the pnimi take care of? Huh? No, that's something else. We're going to get there in a second. Anybody? It's a trick. It's not a trick. It's just we didn't do good chazar on it. Mazid. If somebody does something deliberately and then he wants a kapara, the pnimi takes care of it. Okay, next. There's no yediyah asher. Here's yours. There's no yediyah, not in the beginning, not at the end. What takes care of that? Oh, and that's our sugi right here. Since we have nothing left on the chart, there's a yediyah tchila v'soif that oile v'yared. Yediyah in the beginning, but not at the end, that's pnimi. Yediyah at the end, now there's no yediyah, not in the beginning, not in the end, that we don't have anything yet. What could that be? Regalim. That's the only thing left. We're asking what, so okay, that Rosh Chodesh is for Tar Shal Chatameh. Yeah, here's Rosh Chodesh. Tar Shal Chatameh. So because we have nothing left, by default, we have to go to Regalim. Takes care of Ein Yediyah B'Tchila, Ve'Ein Yediyah B'Soif. That's what the Gemara says here. But meanwhile, we did a nice little chazara. This is basically everything we learned for the last 9 days. Yeah, okay, so well, let's not confuse. Me either. Amay Mechapre. Only Tumas Mikdash Kedushav. And that's, that's part of the sugya. We keep on asking that question. Maybe should be mechaper for something else. No. Maybe should no. Like we did that 3 times. We're probably going to do it a little bit more today. Amay mekapri. What does Yontif do kapara for? There's an awareness in the beginning and the end. That's all the way on the right. High by carbon. That already has a carbon. You don't need anything special for Yom Kippur. What's the name of that carbon? Oile v'yored. There's an awareness in the beginning. That's the classic. That's how we started off. That's the pnimi. That's the inner one. This in the Kodesh HaKadosh. V'yom HaKippurim and also Yom Kippur. Toila. What does Toila mean? Hashem doesn't punish until you figure it out. It's not a complete kapara, because if you do figure it out, you have to bring your own carbon. But for now, you won't get punished for it. There is an awareness at the end. Rabbi say, what's mechaper? The chitzoin. On this mizbeach, the mizbeach hachitzoin. V'yom kippur mechaper. Al karchach. So now that those three on the right are already taken care of, you have oil v'yar pnimi chitzoin. So now what does Yontav do? Al karchach ein mechaper al shein b'yediyah loy b'tchila v'sayiv. Therefore, the only thing left really is something that is zero awareness, not in the beginning, not in the end, like that woman who almost walked away in Chicago after she stepped on the guy, the dead guy, on the plane's kitchen floor. She almost didn't know until I told her, I gave her yediyah at the end that she's tamei because she stepped on the guy. Yeah? You weren't here at the Mesa? You weren't, okay.
Didn't she step on the guy?
Yeah, she crossed from one side of the plane to the other and was laying on the floor, and there's curtains closed, like you're not supposed to go through, but the gal. Good stuff in the morning. It's Shema gives you an appetite. Oh, so Rameir says. Rebbeinu says that the Sar of Rosh Chodesh, the Sar of Regalim, the Sar of Hachitzayin, they are all equal. They all take care of Tumas, Mikdash, V'Kadashav. Omar Rebbe Chama, Bar Rebbe Chanina, my time in the Rebbe Meir. Omar Kra, Seir U'Seir. Here, we already had this Gemara also. But the Gemara we had before just brought this Gemara, so here's the source. Right? All these Seirim, all these karbanos that says U'Seir Chatas. I just brought a pasuk here to show that it doesn't have to have a vav. It can be said without a vav. It could say Seir Izem Echad, Seir Chatas Echad. What's the problem? Why vav? This vav makes a connection between all the different karbanos, all these Seirim that we're talking about, and therefore, All across Seir U'Seir. In other words, U'Seir. That's what he's trying to point out. It should have said Seir, but why now it says U'Seir instead of Seir? So there's some sort of hekesh between all the goats. Vav Moisef Alin Yarishan. So what does that mean? So if I see something by one, I'm going to learn it to the other. So here it is. Very, very simple. Check this out. There are three categories in the Torah. The Rosh Chodesh is next to Pesach. The Shevuos is next to Rosh Shoshana. Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeres go together. So we're going to do one. Very, very simple. There's one halacha, tar shachal tameh, which I learned out from where? From Rosh Chodesh. Tar, the picture with the mouse. The guy was tar, completely tar. He's eating shlomim that's tameh. He becomes tameh. He needs a kapara. Rosh Chodesh is mechaper. Well, since Rosh Chodesh is next to Pesach, so Pesach is going to learn from Rosh Chodesh. And since Shevuos comes afterwards, so I'm going to learn Shevuos from Pesach. That what? That Shevuos, the regel, the sar they bring on Shevuos, which is coming up soon, has the ability to be mechaper on somebody who's tar, who ate tameh. Rosh Hashanah, next to Shevuos, etc., etc., etc. So Yom Kippur, where did I learn Yom Kippur from, Rabbi Isai? From Rosh Hashanah. Where did I learn Rosh Hashanah from? Shevuos. All the way back to ask the Gemara. Chad Gadi. Says the Gemara, that doesn't work. I can learn Sukkot from Yom Kippur, which was learned from Rosh Hashanah, which was learned from Shevuos. That's great in the rest of the Torah. And this is also Chazara that we did in this Masechta. It doesn't work in Kachim. This is Beis HaMikdash stuff. Beis HaMikdash has to be direct. You can't learn one thing from the other, from the other, from the other. All the way back to Rosh Chodesh. Says the Gemara, don't worry about it. It works like this. You got it wrong. Rosh Chodesh is on the top. Rosh Chodesh teaches us Tar Shachat Tameh. And boom, everything's going to be learned from Rosh Chodesh directly. I'm not learning one from the other. It's Rosh Chodesh directly to Yom Kippur. It's not Rosh Chodesh to Pesach and afterwards to Shevuos to Rosh Hashanah. No, Rosh Chodesh to Yom Kippur, Rosh Chodesh to Shevuos, Rosh Chodesh to Rosh Hashanah. Says Gemara, Teinach kol d'chsiv bei u'seir. Great, that works because Rosh Chodesh has extra vav, and Pesach has extra vav, and so does Rosh Hashanah. The problem is, oh, my stuff didn't upload, so it's not here. Okay, so you'll get it without. Maybe Avremi. I put two X's on this. Mam shechaval, I don't know, maybe I don't have internet at home or something. I don't know.
Your computer's off.
My computer is off. But I got emails. That's why I thought about it. I was like, but wait, the emails are coming in.
Is it syncing?
No. Okay. I didn't do any major. I did a little bit. I fixed up the Torah's one. Chaval. What a chaval.
Okay, we have the Gemara.
But now you can go to somebody else's shir. Let's see. You'll get up here and you'll explain the Torah's. You'll have to explain the Torah's.
Someone's going to regret something.
Yeah. Here, let me just show you the chart that I try to fix. The Yoshi did at, to me, it just didn't make any sense, this chart. So I fixed it up a little bit. And okay, Ari is going to come up here and explain to us this chart. I'll go upon him. So I'm back at this chart. All I did in this chart is I put an X on Mr. Shevuos and then an X on Yom Kippur. In other words, Shevuos and Yom Kippur don't have a Vav, so you can't learn directly from Rosh Chodesh to Shevuos and Yom Kippur. Okay? All I did was the X. It's a kasha. Holy kasha. How do I know? I can't learn Rosh Chodesh to Shevuos and Yom Kippur. So the Gemara says, you're right, now I have to start all over again. There's one pasuk that says, all moyadechem, all your yomim tovim, hukshu kol moyadim, kulon zelo zeh. All yomim tovim have a hekesh, and memela, you're right, Yom Kippur doesn't have a vav, but Yom Kippur is a moyed, and Rosh Chodesh is a moyed. So whatever Rosh Chodesh has, I just use Rosh Chodesh as an example, but there's other halachas also, right? There's other korbanos that do other things, right? Great.
Why do you Rosh Hashanah at all? Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Chodesh. It's the first day of the month.
Okay, but you have to, in order to get to Yom Kippur, you have to go through Rosh Hashanah, because Rosh Hashanah is before. Yeah, but you have to get there. According to the first pshat in the Gemara, each one goes one after another. Says the Gemara, how could you learn anything from Rosh Chodesh if Rosh Chodesh is not a yontif? If Rosh Chodesh is a yontif, so great, this chart works, but if Rosh Chodesh is not a yontif, not. Ibra, true, it is a yontif. Rosh Chodesh nami yikri moed, it is a yontif. The Kid Omer Abaya. The Omer Abaya tam is da yishatem aluyim aluye. Referring to the year of the Miraglim. When's the bad day of the year? The worst day of the year that all the tzars happen? Tisha B'Av. Maybe it's on Asar B'Av. Lefi the Cheshbon should be the 10th of Av. Says Abaye, no. Because Tammuz, the month before, usually it's 29 days. That's why you thought it's on the 10th. But if I add another day to Tammuz, so it comes out that it's on Tisha B'Av. So that month, that year, Maluye Malyuhu. They added another day to Tammuz. Dichsiv, Kora Lai Moyed Lishboy Bachuroi. So you see that Abaye uses the pasuk of Karalei Mayed Yontif on Rosh Chodesh. Okay? I saw a ma'aseh from Rosh Hashanah Zaman Birevach. You know, you're not allowed to give a spade on Rosh Chodesh. So what do people do? They say it's not a hesped, it's a hisoiros, it's a kinos hisoiros. Or he sold this and that we have to, poshaket. So Rosh Hashanah Zaman was at a levaya. And a guy gets up there and goes, oh, today's Rosh Chodesh. And he says, stop, enough. Like, he even started out saying it's Rosh Chodesh with the niggin of a hesped. And he says, no, you can't play games. It's not something that there's no hesped in Rosh Chodesh. It's a yontif. Or Rabbi Yochanan, Umoyde Remeir Basar Hanasa Bifnim, Shu'enim Chapik HaParasan, V'henenim Chapik HaParasa. Here we go. Remeir, who says that all these goats are in the same category, the Rish Chodesh, the Regel, the Yom Kippur, the Chitzon Yom Kippur, they're all in one. They could all accomplish the same thing. Get rid of Tumas Mikdash V'Kadashav. Says Rameir. Says the Gemara. Rabbi Yochanan says the Rameir didn't. One thing is not in that category, which is the Sarah Pnimi, the inner one on Yom Kippur. Shu'ei Mechaber Kaparasa, he doesn't accomplish anything for them. Ve'hein Mechaber Kaparasai. When there's no, what does the Sarah Pnim do? When there's no awareness at the end, the guy he'll die without knowing about it. That Yom Kippur Pnimi takes care of. Nobody else could take care. No other goat could take care of that problem of no awareness at the end, and he cannot take care of another issue. Let's say no awareness in the beginning. That he doesn't take care of. He's very, very limited. Nobody touches him. He doesn't touch anybody else. He's within his own category. The reason is because he can only accomplish one thing. He's very, very focused on one thing. Somebody that doesn't have an awareness at the end. That's it. And nobody could help him out. Again, a limud that we had before. This kapara, he does it by himself. Nobody else helps out. And we saw the same thing. Check this out. If you do it slowly, try to understand what we're reading here, you'll see what's missing from this three item list. There's zero awareness, not at the beginning and not at the end. That's one. There's no awareness in the beginning. But there is an awareness at the end. These three things. What is missing? Which is what? Who takes care of that? The Pnimi. It's missing from the list. And what takes care of these three things we just mentioned? Seiri, Haregolim, Yantif, goat, Usiri, Rosh Chadashim, Rosh Chodesh, V'sar Nasa Bachutz, Mechaprim. Divrei Meir. V'ilu. But Sar Nasa B'fnim, Shairi. It's off the list, the Pnimi. V'kaparas and Shairi. V'kitzer, it's off the list for a reason, because Meir doesn't include it in the category of the goats. There are goats, Rosh Chodesh, Yantif, and Sar Nasa Bachutz, but not Pnim. That's by itself. This is the Mishnah, so let's just see it for a second. We remember this Mishnah, Daf Beis, Amud Beis. We're still holding in that Mishnah. It's one long Mishnah for the rest of the parak. The Rish Chodesh takes care of a person who's tar, who ate tamei, the mouse thing. And the regel, we discussed this. The beginning of it. No awareness, not in the beginning of that. Yom Kippur. Which Yom Kippur are we talking about again? Chitzon. There's no awareness in the beginning. Now we're doing it all over again. Same kind of theme. I understand why Rosh Chodesh doesn't take care of Yom Tov, the Amar Kro Avoin. But Rosh Chodesh it says in singular the Aveira, Avoin. It takes care of one problem, and it cannot take care of two problems. How come we don't do the reverse? The Yom Tov should take care of Rosh Chodesh. Again, yeah, it's familiar because we had it at least twice, three times. Rosh Chodesh takes care of it, and nobody else. And Yom Tov cannot take care of Yom Kippur. By Yom Kippur it says Achaz Bashana once a year, and it says it twice. How come Yom Kippur cannot take care of Yom Tov? It says it twice. No, it can only take care of one and not two things. Wait a minute. We're talking about the Sarah Chitzoy. How come the Sarah Chitzoy doesn't take care of the other stuff? And you're using the word achas. It's limited, achas. But it's not. We're not talking about this. When the Torah says achas, it's talking about a pnimi, not the Chitzoy. Oh, we have to say that the Chitzoy and the pnimi are the same. There's a hekesh between them. The chsiv, not the pnimi, chsiv, amakro, milvad, chatas hakipurim. It says in the pasuk, "Sirizim echad chatos," in addition to Chatas Kippur. So in other words, they're connected. The pnimi and the chitzon are connected, and whatever you have in the pnimi, you have in the chitzon. Just like the pnimi could only take care of one thing, so too the chitzon. Turning to the daf, by Innovations LLC, in honor of our sons Kalmo and Yisrael for learning Sanhedrin and Makkos with their belly. Adar Global, still experts in international financial services. Anonymous, in honor of the tzaddik whose name we cannot say, who shows us what it means to be a giver and a tzaddik. Oh. Okay, who knows? Says Gemara, Reb Shimon ben Yehuda Omer Mishmai. Just to remind the Olam, this was Gevaldik. This is in the Mishnah. Take a look. What does Rosh Chodesh do? Takes care of Tahar Shachal Tomei. You know, I think for me at least, if you would ask me after this year, what does Rosh Chodesh do? I don't remember anymore. It's like we said it 7 times, and it's like there's a lot of small things here. Rosh Chodesh takes care of one thing only: Tahar Shachal Tomei. This is Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, and he says that Yontif builds on it. It does the same thing that Rosh Chodesh does, Tahar Shachal Tomei, plus one thing. There's zero awareness. And Yom Kippur builds on that and takes those two things of Yontif and adds one thing, but there is the idea at the end. Which Yom Kippur, of course, the Chitzon. So now the Gemara goes through this. Again, the same thing until we get to the Geshmak Sugya. Why is Rosh Chodesh all by itself? Takes care of one thing, not two things, not three things, like Yom Kippur, like Yontif and Yom Kippur. Tamakra, Avoin. Sounds familiar. It says by Rosh Chodesh, the word Avoin. Avoin echad u'noisav. And Rosh Chodesh can only take care of one thing. The regalim nami lo nekapru ad Rosh Chodashim. But wait a minute, how come Yontif takes care of what Rosh Chodesh takes care of? Why are you building on it? The Tamakra, it says by Rosh Chodesh oisah. Wait a minute. Rosh Chodesh is a limitation that only Rosh Chodesh can take care of what it takes care of. Nobody else can take care of it. He doesn't learn that word. How come Yontif, the middle one, only has two things that it takes care of and not three? How come it can't take care of when there's an awareness at the end? Yom Kippur is special. Only Yom Kippur can take care of that thing. Because again, something that we had number of times already. So wait a minute, and Yom Kippur is all by itself. So how come Yom Kippur can take care of what Yontif takes care of, which is ein yediyah tchila v'soif? Achas ksiv. The Gemara is asking the question. It says achas. Yom Kippur shouldn't be able to take care of what Yontif takes care of. It's only one thing you can take of. Which one? It says in the pasuk achas twice. The first one, achas b'shana. He doesn't learn the word achas. Wait a minute, because it only says by, like we said before, the question that we had before, that the word achas is only talking about the pnimi, not the chitzon. Then we have the question that we had before, and the answer that we had before, we had this question, so if it's only on the pnimi, how can you learn anything to the chitzon? And we said, no, there's a hekesh between the two. But if you're not going to learn achas to the chitzon, so now we have the original question. Now, we should say that whatever Yontif takes care of, should take care of Yom Kippur. The chiksiv achas, you don't have a limitation anymore. Because that limitation of achas, it's only by the other one, and we don't combine. We don't say that the pnim and the chitzon are the same. No, you're right. He does learn the word achas. But we have a special limitation, that Aaron only does this kapara once a year. The kapara achas mechaper ben mechaper the kaparas. You can only do it for one thing. You can only take care of one, not two. But the outer one could take care of two things. Here we go. Rabbi Yisai, brand new sugya. Seriously, brand new sugya. It's very, very geshmak. Every single day in the Beis Hamikdash, we bring the carbon tamid twice. Here's his carbon tamid, a new character. It's every single day, morning and evening. Literally, it's yomi. And the famous medrash, we're not going to go into it, but the point of the medrash is that Yiddishkeit is Yomi. Yiddishkeit is being consistent, and that's how we build. And it took me a very long time to realize the theme of all these emails of it changed my life, it changed my life. To me, I think it's mostly the fact that somebody could sit down and he realizes that he's consistent every single day. He's learning Torah. That consistency brings a lot of other improvements in a person's life. And it takes a while to create that habit. I'm happy to inform you, because I said this, I don't know, a month or two ago. My towel was on my right. And I changed it to my left. I didn't like it, so I put it on my left. And every single day, I realized that the silliest things that we do, when we put on our socks and we put our foot on top of the knee this way and that way, and what we do, it's all like automatic, like a robot. Because every single day, I washed up or whatever, and then I'm going to my towel and I go to the right. And every day I say, oh, it's not on the right, it's on the left. Let's go back to the left. And I'm like, when am I going to get used to this? And every day, the same thing, until I realized, it took like 2 months. And now, Baruch Hashem, most of the time I don't go to the right anymore. I'm saying, even in the silly things.
Go to the right.
Yeah. But not in the bathroom. Not in the bathroom. Everywhere. Not in the bathroom. You're not allowed to go in the right in the bathroom. Okay. Ayid gates in rechts. Yeah. My point is that when you build a habit, and it takes time to build it, but once you build it, it becomes natural and you don't think about it. It's like, okay, just go to the daf. You go to the daf. A guy told me that his Waze, he's in his car, he's right, I didn't even know this. Waze, did you know that Waze advises you where to go? I didn't even know that. I use Waze a lot. He says Waze takes him to Daf Yomi every day. And then on Motzei Shabbos takes him to the Ramah Bet Shemesh Daf Yomi, because he just comes here. It's like, I didn't know, like, it chaps that this is where you go every Motzei Shabbos. So just says, do you want to go to that place? Yeah, okay, yes. Anyway, and then your head is like Waze. It's like you just go. You don't even know what you're doing. You wake up in the morning, go to Daf. I don't want to go to Daf, but I go to Daf. Oh, yeah?
Thanks, I don't know the exact question, but it's Dharma says that my feet go to the base mattress.
Oh, Ragla, you, okay.
I don't remember where it was.
So Rabbi says like this. It's very gishmak, seriously. This Talmud is purchased with the money of the Machzis HaShekel. Every year we collect the money, and it's a whole thing. It's my favorite Masechta of all time, because on Erev Pesach I had to give the 3 shiurim and I had to prepare, and I came to the Seder like a homeless person. I did unshaved, I didn't take a shower for Yom. There was nervayim, falling asleep. So I have a lot of trauma from that Masechta. I do. But I remember a little bit of it, not much. It's collecting the Machzis Shekel, and you could only buy the carbon from the new money of this year, newly collected money. I cannot use a Talmud that was purchased from last year's money. Now, the Talmud, we bring 2 a day, and we have to observe it for 4 days. We have to make sure it doesn't have any mumim. So they put it in a pen. Now, what if there's a mum? So we put 6 in a pen, and we check it out for 4 days. And then when everything's good, we take 2. So at the end of the year, the last day of the year, how many are we left over with? 4, because we used 2, now we have 4. These are no good to bring for carbon next year, because they were purchased with the money from last year. So what do you do with them? Now, if I have a chatos, and I'm not going to use, I have a oila, I'm not going to use, what do I do? 0, there's nothing I can do. I cannot redeem it. Why? I can't redeem it because there's something called Kedushas Haguf. When there's an inherent Kedusha in this animal, because it's designated as a carbon, I can't redeem it with money. If it befalls a mum, then I could redeem it. But as is, I can't. Comes Rabbi Yochanan with an incredible chiddush, which the Gemara doesn't like right away. Rabbi says, say it somewhere else. Says Rabbi Yochanan, if I have a problem with these 4, I have a way to get out of it. Let me put money on it. I'll redeem it with money. I'll take cash from Chulin and redeem it. And now these animals are going to be not Kaddish, complete Chulin. And then I'll repurchase them. I'm not going to let somebody just use them. The Beis HaMikdash will repurchase it back for the Beis HaMikdash with new money, and now I can use it for the new year. How does it work though? It says just one line. And after that you have to go into Rashi. If I have 4 left over, which Rashi tells us is 4, Nivdin Tmimim, I could Go ahead and redeem them. Gewaltig. It works like this. It's super simple. Step one, the Gizbar takes blue money, which means not Kaddish money, just from his own pocket. He borrows money, whatever he has to do. And you see those 4 sheep over there? He goes ahead and he redeems them. He buys them. He takes them out of the. So the sheep right now are red. When he redeems them, the sheep turn blue. They become chulin, and the money that he put on the sheep, he put it on top. He bought them, so to speak. The money turns kaddish. Okay. Then he takes that money, and he puts it in the old pile of money. This is the shiari lishka from the last year's money. That we do upkeep in the Beis Hamikdash. We're not going to buy karbanas. We're not going to buy ketores with it. We're going to upkeep we're going to pay the contractors and that. Okay? Belkabayis. So the red money goes into the old pile. Now he takes from the new pile. You see the coins are shinier. He takes from the new money and he purchases back those karbanas that are chulin. They're not kaddish anymore. So he goes and he buys them for the Beis Hamikdash. So what happens to those karbanas? They become red. They become kaddish again. That's it. That's his trick. Just to point out, Rashi just says a very interesting thing. I forgot to say last night in the Hebrew that you cannot take kaddish money, bedekabayis money, and redeem the carbon. Why can't the Beis Hamikdash take their money and buy the karbanas? Oh, because there's Kedusha in the money. So where are you transferring the Kedusha from the animal to? You can't transfer the Kedusha from the animal into money that's Kaddish already. It's full. You have to take empty money, non-Kaddish money. That's why we have to bother somebody to borrow money, to use his own money for this. And the Kedusha, the red from the karbanas, goes into the money and it turns the blue money to red.
But even step 1 doesn't get off the ground. It's Tamim. You can't be called a Tamim.
But Rabbi Yochanan says in this case you could. That's the whole Chiddush. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Gishmak. Now, ask the Gemara your question. Yosef Rabbi v'Klamer lo Shmaitza. Rabbi said this over. Omalei Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda says, Mantzais loch ulu Rabbi Yochanan Rabbach. I can't listen to you nor to your Rebbe. It makes no sense. What Ari is asking. How can you redeem something that has Kedushas Aguf? Where is it going to go? And if you could, then you could do the same thing for an Oila. I could take an Oila and do this whole trick. Take money that has the Kedusha and redeem it. You can't do it. So why could you do it over here? You're going to say you can do it over here. There's nothing to do with these karbanas. What are you going to do? Waste them? Let them Yirat Shamayim, let them go to waste? No. Let's do something. Omelei. I understand. You don't agree to this concept? It's a Mishnah, this concept. Oh, here we have, this is what they used to put the Ketores on every day. Here's a picture. You see how short it is? You see the little horns over here? So Rashi goes to the whole cheshbon. They used to make a certain amount once a year, the entire year. It's one of the problems why we don't have a Beis Hamikdash today, because it seems like Ketores is an essential part of the Beis Hamikdash. You can't have a Beis Hamikdash without Ketores, and we have no clue how to make it. That's one of the reasons why we can't build a Beis Hamikdash. Fine. It's interesting. Yosef Vermi came over to me and he's very serious about this. He said, listen, we don't have the right mindset. Like, when Mashiach comes tomorrow, what's our plan? Like, how are we building? How are we doing? We have to get on it right now. We need a plan. Huh? Yeah, but what about our clothing? He says, I know somebody that has special clothing that's not a Kabbalah Tumah. So we don't have the right mindset. Good. I told him, I said, you know what you have to do? We have to work on getting more people to the Daf so that Mashiach should come. Hey, you and your Daf. No, he didn't say that, but I saw it in his eyes. 4 feet tall? Yes. It's tiny. Oh, you mean this is only 3? It's a Shiloh. Why? He's not 8 feet tall, you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, I guess. But we didn't do that picture. That's Kol HaLashon. Kol HaLashon.
Chaim had his back in his living room that he would try to run up. He was a kind. He wanted to learn.
I don't know about that. I never heard that. His house, you know how small his house was? He had clothing. He had
I'm calling you on that.
Yeah, I say. There's one guy in Arizona today that has him back in his backyard, not in his living room. You know how small his house was? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He was able to get around the...
Hello. Let me tell you something. Here, he's right. We were in his yeshiva. I couldn't fit in his yeshiva. That's how small the yeshiva was. The whole yeshiva of Radin is the size of this room. The whole yeshiva, right? It was mamish a small room. Anyway.
I'm gonna find him.
And his bike that he used to ride around.
Yosef, so what happened there? I'm in the middle of the thing.
I'm a fisherman,
So real quickly, we're almost done. They made Torahs once a year, and at the end of the year, you had 3 mana left. It was exact. You had 3 mana left. So you go, and the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur takes his hands. Now sometimes his hands are larger, sometimes they're smaller. But bottom line is, some Torahs was left over. Let's call it a mana, whatever it is left over. So every 70 years or so, 60 to 70 years, they only had to make a half of the usual amount because all this added up. But let's say I want to use this Ktaris next year. I have the same problem that we had by a Talmud. This Ktaris was purchased with money from last year. I cannot use this Ktaris in this year. So what do? So it's a little bit more, it's 3 steps, but different than Talmud. What we do is as follows. The guy that makes the Ktaris from the Avtinas, what's his name? The Beis Avtinas. That guy made the Ktaris. Now the Beis Hamikdash owes him 12 mana. That's the salary, 12 mana a year. So we're going to pay him with cash from the Trumas Halishka, from the Machzah Shekel. We're going to take money and pay him. So now he has cash. That cash goes from being Kadosh to non-Kadosh. It's not Beis Hamikdash is allowed to buy milk and oil from a store, and the guy's allowed to use the money afterwards because that's how they give the money. You give it al das that it goes from the Kedusha, I can purchase stuff. So I pay him with that money. Now the guy has the money, he goes ahead and buys the K'tairis that's left over. So what happens? The K'tairis becomes Chulin, and the money becomes Kaddish. And then, so now he has K'tairis that's not Kaddish. Now the Beis Hamikdash takes new money and buys it off him with the new money. So now they have K'tairis that was bought with the new money, and now they can use the K'tairis. The only thing is, all this wasn't done. They didn't pay him a salary, and they didn't buy the K'tairis. It was all, the Gizbar did it in his own hand. He took money, here, this is the money, I'm giving it to the Gizbar. Now the Gizbar has a salary. Now the Gizbar is buying the K'tairis. And now I'm buying it back. He did it by himself, with permission from Beis Avtina's guy. It's okay, I can do it? Yeah, no problem.
Why does the Gizbar want to get the K'tairis back? Why does he have to do that?
Because we have leftover K'tairis, what are you going to do with it? It's Kaddish, it had Kedusha, it's like the...
It doesn't have Kedusha now, so it's good.
Yeah, but it's the same thing like the Talmud. Why does he want to get the Talmud back?
Same question, yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of the day, here, let me to answer your question. The Rishonim ask here, Rashi points it out, Rashi asks the question, why do this whole thing? Let a guy go in the street, come over to the Beis Hamikdash, let a guy in the Beis Hamikdash say, here, Beis Hamikdash, here's $100, I want the K'tairis. And he'll buy it, and then Beis Hamikdash will buy it back from him. Why do we have to use the guy that made it, only the guy that made it, and we're paying his salary, you, Rabbi Kornblut, you go buy it from the Beis Hamikdash. And now it's yours, and now Beis Hamikdash will come and buy it back from you. The answer is, we don't want to be mezalzel in K'tairis.
It's hold on to it.
We can't use it.
Why not?
Because it was bought with last year's money. I need to buy it only with this year. That was the whole sugya. The Talmud also. I cannot use something that was bought with last year's money. It only can be used with this year's money. So does that answer your question, Reb David? It answers your question. That what?
The Ron.
We don't want the Ron, not David. I knew it was a Dalet Vav somewhere. It was good. So I don't want to do bizyonis. I don't want to this. So I don't want this K'tairis to end up in somebody's house on a shelf. It used to be in the Beis Hamikdash. So I make it chulin. It's still, by the way, a lot of these things like a bchar, you can't sell it in an itliz, even if there's certain things like, even though it's not kaddish, I can't sell it on a market. I can't weigh it. You know, there's certain things that you have to be magvina. Here also, this used to be in the Beis Hamikdash, used to be K'tairis. It was available to go up to Shamayim. You're going to start buying it, put it in your, show people, oh look, I have K'tairis in the Beis Hamikdash. Yeah, but it's chulin. I understand it's chulin. We got to get back in the Beis Hamikdash somehow. So says the Gemara, let's just do it inside. Here, this was the chart. I fixed it, but right now, the Gizbar pays the Gizbar is the guy with the white clothing. He's the kohen, right? So he buys the ketores. He pays the salary of the guy that makes the ketores. Here's the guy that goes like this. I have that actually, because so the Gemara is saying the ketores, once I put all the spices in here and they go like this, if this is a kli shares, if this is a holy kli, then it makes the ketores kedushas haguf, like kaddish, like a tamid, and I'm able to take the kedusha out of it. So you see here, I can take the kedusha out of it. Why are you so upset, Rav Chizda? So what do? It's 3 steps. Moisar ketores, the leftover ketores. What do we do? Mafrishim imenu scharu umanim. We would pay the salaries of the, how do you say uman? The artisans, the craftsmen. And then we take the ketores, we buy with that money that the craftsman got, we take that money and we purchase the ketores from the Beis Hamikdash. So now the ketores becomes not kaddish anymore. And then we give the ketores, instead of the money we give to the craftsman and say, here's the ketores instead of your salary. Now once it says, now the Beis Hamikdash goes, and then we buy it with the brand new money. Okay, so the same question, how can you do it with ketores? Elamai, you could do it with ketores, even though the ketores is kedushas haguf. So he answers for today at least, not for tomorrow. Omerlei, ketores karmas. He asked me, you bring me a right from ketores? Shani ketores, kedushas damimu. This is not a kli shares. This doesn't make it kaddish kedushas haguf. It's only kedushas damim. Kedushas damim I can redeem, but the tamid which is kedushas haguf I can't. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.